Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Born Brazen, the podcast where we say the things everyone's thinking, but nobody wants to say out loud. I'm your host, Holly, and if you're new here, this space is all about being bold, being honest, and being unapologetically real. No filters, no pretending, just raw conversations about life, relationships, mental health, ambition, insecurity, growth, and all of the messy middle in between. Because let's be real, we were all born brazen. The world just taught us to tone it down. So if you've ever swallowed your truth, questioned yourself, or felt like you had to shrink to fit, you are absolutely in the right place. Quick life update about me. I lost my wallet. Think I left it at UPS? Not exactly sure, but I definitely lost my wallet. So I have to get all new credit cards. I have to get my driver's license. Is just an absolute big pita. Next wallet that I get is definitely going to be a tag on there so I can at least try to find it when I lose it. So moral of the story is please don't lose your wallet because it's not fun. Enough about my wallet chaos. Let's get into today's episode. So last week, we talked about refocusing and prioritizing ourselves and what makes us happy. With refocusing can sometimes cause chaos, stress, and anxiety. After all, you're learning new habits, taking leaps, and looking at things in a whole new light. As we navigate through this process, we need to find our inner peace within ourselves, which brings us to today's topic of recentering. While refocusing is all about the external and cognitive shift, refocusing or recentering is about an internal shift. Now, you all know I love giving you guys definitions. So the definition of recentering is the process to restoring mental, emotional, or physical balance, often by calming the mind, regaining focus, or adjusting your posture. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a medical doctor, not a psychologist. I'm just here giving you examples of what's helped me throughout the years so that sometimes maybe for at least one person, it can help you. I'm also not your mama and I can't tell you what to do. Take it or leave it. But it is what it is. Now, I could give you all the typical methods of recentering and tell you to box breathe, turn a negative into a positive, or my absolute favorite, just don't stress. For me, and probably many of you, you're thinking box breathing annoys me. You breathe in, you hold it, you breathe out for set amount of seconds. And it doesn't work for me. It actually gives me more anxiety because I'm focused on counting how long I need to be in, hold it, and breathe out, that it doesn't calm me down at all. Now, when it comes to turning a negative into a positive, that's nice. And if you can do it, great for you. But I'm very much a black and white person, and I see things the way they are. For example, a couple weeks ago, we had to put our dog down. Probably one of the worst things I've ever experienced. She had liver cancer and an enlarged heart. Now, there was absolutely no positive to that. It was negative 100%. So I'm unable, like some people, can take that negative and turn it into a positive because her quality of life was going down. Now, let's get in to don't stress. Great. Right. Because after 20 years of stressing and having anxiety, I'm just going to go flip a switch and everything is going to be all better. Psych. That's not exactly how that works. So what I'm going to do, as I said, is give you things that have worked for me and maybe give you some sort of help as well. Besides medicine. Not talking about medicine, not talking about medical, just things that you can do at home in your everyday life. We're jumping into an ad here. If you're using peptides or thinking about trying them, Atomic Labs is where it's at. All peptides are laboratory tested for purity and comes with a certificate of analysis to provide details about the purity and potency. My favorite is BPC 157. It's great for gut health and recovery, and that's super important to me since I have IBS. Use code BEAN15 for 15% off your order. That's BEAN 15 for 15% off your order. Go to atomiclabs.com, ATOMIKLABZ.com to place your first order. Don't forget to use that code BEAN15 so you can get 15% off. Atomic Labs products are used for research and laboratory use only. I'm also not your mama, and I can't tell you what to do. Take it or leave it, but it is what it is. Now, I could give you all the typical methods of recentering and tell you to box breathe, turn a negative into a positive, or my absolute favorite, just don't stress. For me, and probably many of you, you're thinking box breathing annoys me. You breathe in, you hold it, you breathe out for a set amount of seconds. And it doesn't work for me. It actually gives me more anxiety because I'm focused on counting how long I need to be in, hold it, and breathe out, that it doesn't calm me down at all. Now, when it comes to turning a negative into a positive, I mean, that's nice. And if you can do it, great for you. But I'm very much a black and white person, and I see things the way they are. For example, a couple weeks ago, we had to put our dog down. Probably one of the worst things I've ever experienced. She had liver cancer and an enlarged heart. Now, there was absolutely no positive to that. It was negative 100%. So I'm unable, like some people, can take that negative and turn it into a positive because her quality of life was going down. Now, let's get in to don't stress. Great. Right. Because after 20 years of stressing and having anxiety, I'm just going to go flip a switch and everything is going to be all better. Psych. That's not exactly how that works. So what I'm going to do, as I said, is give you things that have worked for me and maybe give you some sort of help as well. Besides medicine, not talking about medicine, not talking about medical, just things that you can do at home in your everyday life. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is recognizing when you're feeling off. That can be mental, emotional, or even when your body feels off. For me, anxiety means it's really hard to breathe or there's a huge tightness in my chest. Maybe it's that you're feeling scattered. You don't know where to start, and that could be super overwhelming, and sometimes people tend to shut down. Imagine you're cleaning your house, and there is 10,000 million things that you have to do to the point where you have no idea where to start. So you just sit in the middle of the floor and you're like, I have no idea what to do, so I'm just not going to do anything. That happens a lot. Maybe it's feeling that you're overstimulated. That is something that I feel a lot. And as my face tells everything, people always tell me, fix your face, especially in a serious situation. You can tell when I'm super overstimulated. Now, I have a wonderful support system. My husband is absolutely amazing. And after 15 years, he can definitely see on my face when I'm overstimulated and tells me, hey, let's go outside, and takes me out of that environment. So find you a person that reads your face. Now, for many of you, these things happen every single day. Stress happens, anxiety happens, everything's coming at you at one time. Prioritize your day, prioritize your feelings. Find a method that slows everything down around you. Whether that's reading, meditation, or just sitting in silence, because sometimes that's the best thing to do. When it comes to feeling scattered, make a checklist. I know I'm a check person. I like to tick off that I've done it. Because if we're being realistic, one thing has to happen before the other. So number 2 has to have number 1 happen. Number 3 needs number 2 to happen. And maybe that can sometimes organize your day. Now, we've identified the why: overwhelming, overstimulated, scattered, anxiety. Let's move and talk about how.
Hey everyone, Holly here. If you are looking for a one-stop shop for custom items through Shopify, podcast, or website design, let Linktree do the work for you. Go to Linktree/bornbrazen to ease your day. Again, that's Linktree/bornbrazen, BORNBRAZEN. You won't be disappointed.
Learn how to manage your emotions. Some people are born with it, and if you are, absolute fantastic. I was not born with that, and I have had to learn how to manage my emotions. And Emotional Intelligence is a fantastic book to read. It really helps understanding how to do that. But managing your emotions could mean that you need to step away, breathe, and then make the decision if you want to continue in that situation or stop. And know that it is 100% okay to not go back into that situation. If it makes you feel off, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if it makes you feel anxious, it's okay to step away. Next thing is talk to someone. And not the person who wants to fix everything. I'm a fixer. When you come to me with your problems, I want to fix it. So every time a friend calls, I ask 2 questions. Am I here to let you vent, or am I here to fix it? Because that's going to depend how this conversation is going to go. Also, sometimes I know things that help me is exercising. It releases all of that serotonin that is built up inside, trying to break free and release itself. Now, if you need a definition of serotonin, leave me a comment. I will be more than happy to give that to you. Now, the final stage is to take action. You've learned why. You've learned how to manage your emotions. Now take action on those items. Set boundaries. If you're at a stage where you've identified and managed, and you can introduce yourself into new things, fantastic. But until then, set boundaries. What are you willing to do and not do? What makes you happy? Not everyone around you, you. Oh, maybe that means taking a damn vacation every once in a while. Crazy thought, right? And I'm sure you don't need a definition for taking a vacation. Find whatever method to recognize how you feel, calm yourself down, and put yourself in a place where you can control your feelings. It's also important to associate your environment with the way you feel. For example, if you lay down in your bed and your mind goes 67 places, you're thinking about what happened today, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. You just can't seem to calm things down. If you can't fall asleep within 10 to 15 minutes, get out of bed. Walk around, read a book. Try to avoid electronics and TV so your brain has a way of calming down. Why do you do this? It's because you want to associate your bed with sleep. When you get into bed, your body knows, hey, it's time to go to sleep. We're not worrying about anything else, but we're going to get a good night's rest. And this goes for everything in your life. Associating your feelings with your environment is actually going to help manage those feelings as well. If jogging makes you happy, go out and jog. Personally, the only time I jog is if something is chasing me. Take, for instance, my dog. My dog 100% associates the environment for his feeding time. When things start to calm down, when it's starting to get darker, I don't even need to remind myself to feed him. He's 100% going to tell me. He's going to come over and paw at me and say, "Hey, Mom, it's time to eat." Lastly, time. These things take time. It is not going to happen overnight. You are not going to be able to recognize why this is happening, manage your feelings, and take action overnight. A lot of us, including myself, have been doing this for years. We've been feeling anxiety. We've been feeling stress. We have been feeling like we have nowhere to get better. So it's going to take some time to rewrite and reorganize your brain. With any habit, it takes consistency. Not months, not weeks, not years sometimes, but the biggest part is doing this every single day, creating a habit and knowing that that habit is going to change your life. Now, if you're married or with a partner, talk to your partner. Let them know, hey, I need 10, 15, 30 minutes to step away, decompress, sit by myself, even if it's in silence, because sometimes that helps a lot. And also, guys, ask your partner if they need the same. I know when my husband comes home, he's worked all day, he's tired, then he's got to be a dad, he's got to be a friend, he has to be a husband. So he too probably needs some time to decompress. I feel like everybody needs time to decompress, but I also feel like everyone should see a counselor sometime in their life because we all have all sorts of issues that we need to work through. Stress is the most thing that people feel, and y'all, it literally kills. I know we all have some sort of stress, but overwhelming stress and anxiety not only affects your mind, but it also affects your body. When I'm feeling overstimulated and really stressed out, I 100% always get sick. I'm tired all the time. I don't want to do anything. And most of all, I hate being around people. For a lot of us, that's not an option. We have work, we have families, we have all the things. So being around people is not going to happen. Sleeping in bed, not going to happen. Not doing anything, not an option. So recenter yourself and identify that this is going to take some refocusing, self-care, and recognizing that most of all, you have to prioritize yourself. Because if you're in a stable position, you can let others and help others be in a stable position. Now, I want to end this on a serious note that is very, very close to my heart. Please, please, please keep in mind, we have no idea what's going on with other people. And hey, we sometimes have no idea what's going on with ourselves. So if you or anyone else feels like they've hit rock bottom, that they can no longer make it up that ladder, and they feel like harming themselves, please call or text 988 for 24-hour access to have somebody to talk to. Don't stay silent. Get help. It's a sign of strength, and it is not a sign of weakness whatsoever. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Really look forward to next episodes. If you have not listened to the first part of this episode, which was about refocusing, go over to Spotify or YouTube to listen to that. When you go over to Spotify or YouTube, make sure to follow, like, comment, turn on notifications, all the things that really helps with the algorithm to get this up and going. This is my little baby, and I really want it to grow as much as possible. So go do all the things, listen to the rest of the episode, come back for the next episode. And I believe next week I'm going to have a special guest that's going to visit. We're going to talk about haunted houses and the behind the scenes and probably what goes on that you're probably not quite sure about. So join me next week for that special guest. I hope you have a great day. Stay positive, and most of all, stay brazen.